Here is the part 2 of the video we made several weeks ago when we first introduced this amazing equipment to the viewers. Now, as you can see, it's completed. It's been done and done well. So I'm here with Mr. Pao Emele Agovi, and I would like for him to run us through a little bit of what this thing is, what it does, and how come it came into being.
Right, thank you very much. Today is a very exciting day of my life, and bro close, I'd like to show you something. Right, this is the final finishing of what I told you the other time. And this is something that you can find in your house. All these things are things here. I mean, when you take a closer look, you realize that this is the mosquito net. In Africa, we call it the mosquito net, a normal netting you use on our windows. This is thread that is being used, used in sewing, and a barbed wire, and of course a fabric fiber. When you come beneath here is locally, this is the buttons, and this is the electrical wire cord. I mean, those things you can find around your home. This is also a foil that you use in baking your chickens and stuff like that. Well, I had to put all these things together, and to amaze you that I've come up with specifically, the idea was to get it to preserve food stuff. Okay, to preserve food stuff. But as I went along trying to put the pieces together and build it, it served a dual purpose. And surprisingly, it's amazing. Myself, I am so excited about it. And seriously, it does a whole lot of things. It can cook, it can boil, it can preserve, it can heat, it can roast. I mean, roasting no, but it can do a lot of things. Okay. I mean, look at it.
Name.
You can even put your
Name.
Yeah. And actually I was battling with the name to give to this. I wanted to call it the preserver. But after some time, we realized that it does so many things. I decided to call it Microven. So like MIC, and with an umlaut on top, then Ven as in VEN, Microven. So that is what it does.
Okay, but I want to ask, what inspired you?
Good. What inspired me was, my wife she's running a store. So when she goes to the market and she buys meat or stuff like that, and she puts it there, flies keep spoiling it or comes on top. So I looked at it and thought that if perhaps she got something that she could just put it in, not touch it, flies cannot get in, insects cannot get in, it's there. But again, if it's there, it has to be under a certain temperature to be able to preserve it, for it to be fresh and nice looking. So the idea started coming in. So I just went around the house, picked and assembled everything, got the whole idea, put it together. And that's how I came by it. That was the main passion behind it. Of course, this is the second prototype. The first prototype is still lying there. So this is the second one, much more refined and to the task.
Okay, so this can be it can be plugged.
Yes, indeed.
It uses a power outlet.
Yes, let me guess. This is an electrical cord, as you can see. This is from an old extension cord wire. The socket is an old one I also used, and inside this is the heaters. They're right underneath these things, and it's 220 volts. And it has a specific temperature. But surprisingly, I'm putting a microchip. Well, I wouldn't call it a microchip. It's called a regulator. It determines the kind of item or food you put in, the weight of it. Now, if you put it in there, so you can see that, if you draw it closer, you can see that there's a space before you hit it. There's a space before you hit it. So when you put it in there, and it tells the weight determines the amount of heat it should give to the food. So the heavier it is, the more heat it produces. So if it's light, it knows that it's a light food. It doesn't need something to boil it. It just needs to warm it. So when you put something heavy, it will produce an amount of heat that will keep it to boil. So all this is homemade. All this is homemade. Everything, the gadgetry, everything is homemade.
Okay, so with the part 1 of the video, we saw the inner workings of this amazing equipment,
right?
And the part 2 is we've seen the final finish of the product, and it's called Microven.
Microven.
Yes, Microven. Okay,
Microven, yeah.
It does heating and cooking and stewing and preserving and a lot of stuff. All right. Is there anything else you want to add to what you've already said before? Because in the final video, that's the part 3 of this video, we would like to see this gadgetry or equipment actually in action.
Yes.
We want to cook some food and see whether it's actually working.
Yes.
So is there anything else or anything more you want to add?
I would like to add that it's made here in the home, right? This is Ghanaian made in Ghana, and you can carry it anywhere. You can put it in your car. You can take it. It's lightweight. You can take it, put it on the lawn, get a bottle of asana or gogoro, and then with your kebab or some meat pie or something, you can just put it and warm it, and then just sit. I mean, it's simple, and I it's just awesome. It's just awesome, I think. And yes, lastly, one amazing thing about this I need to also point out is the electrical layout. I had to take exactly, I think, 3 weeks to build that setup. It's rather unfortunate I can't open it for you to see, because it was all built in there before covering it. So it doesn't have any expiring dates. It doesn't get spoiled. There is no way it's going to get spoiled. So that is for you, Michael.
Okay. All right. Thank you very, very much, Mr. Kwao Emele Agofi.
Yeah. But look for the part 3.
All right.
We'll put something in there, then we'll cook it. Or we'll warm anything up, warm it, we taste it to see how yummy it is.
All right. Thank you very much. Bye.
All right.